Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. Oh, wow. The chat's already kind of going right now. All right, well, welcome, Sneaky Toilet and Dense Planet. As always, appreciate you guys being here today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, what exactly were you playing today? Well, honestly, we're getting close to the end of Tarkir Dragonstorm's run here because the sun is about to set, and I know everyone's starting to get super hyped for Final Fantasy in 2 weeks. I mean, can you believe that now? Wow. 2 weeks away, and literally, the game is going to change forever after Final Fantasy drops. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic about that, but I am being serious. But we'll talk more about that again when that day comes. Until then, we still have a couple more decks we can kind of play around with, at least with Dragonstorm still being around and still having a lot of fun with them. I also realized with the last couple streams we've been doing, I realize now we've been kind of inadvertently going over 3 color versions in live streams. We've already completed all 5 of the clans for regular deck techs, but now we're going to try to wrap it up with some of the clans on live stream. So we already did, what was it? We did a Jeskai Prowess deck with Narset last stream. A couple streams ago before that, what was that? We did the, oh wow, I'm kind of blanking out right here, but what was it? We had the Mardu Energy deck, so that was the second one. And then we also did the Sultai deck where we tried to steal stuff. Didn't work out as well as I thought it would, but it was still pretty fun to do. But this time around, we're now going to go to the 4th clan, and then after this, we'll talk about again with the future one, also on the weekend. But this time around, we're going to be playing with Abzan today. But what deck is it going to be specifically? Well, let's just jump into it right now and show you what we're talking about. All right, trying to get up here. There we are. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're going to be playing a deck that is led by Felothar The Steadfast from the actual Commander Precon here on Arena. And a deck that is trying to ask the question, are you tough enough? And that's what we're going to be trying to play today, everybody. A deck that's focused all completely on toughness matters stuff to try to overwhelm our opponent with the best defense turned into offense. So with that today, let's go ahead. We'll kind of go over again like how we always do it. We're going to go over the deck, the stats and everything, every single card in the deck, and then we'll play as many matches as possible in Historic Brawl today. I guess it's just regular Brawl now because I realize they flip. I hate when Wizards does this, but you know, they kind of flipped the phrasing, and I still remember it being called Historic Brawl, but it's just regular Brawl now. But you get the idea, everybody. Anyways, that's going to be the game plan for today. As always, if you do like any of the content we do, please like, follow, subscribe wherever you watch it, whether you're watching live right now or if you're watching the replay. We still appreciate your support no matter where you're at. Otherwise, let's go over the stats right now of the deck, and then we'll kind of just go into it here. So, longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, our Tough Enough deck today is going to be Abzan, as I just mentioned earlier. We're looking at an average mana curve about 2.4, and we're going to be nice and even across the colors of white, black, and green, with a total creature cost amount of 35 creatures. We'll rock 12 instants, 11 sorceries, 9 artifacts, 12 enchantments, a single planeswalker, and 28 lands. Although, again, that's just counting the lands as is. There's not counting the spell versions of lands, but again, we'll cover that in just a moment. So, Felothar The Steadfast. We've actually played a we played a Butts Commander. Well, we kind of played a Butt style deck about a year ago, but we actually never really played one here in this format. So I'm excited for this one, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well it can do. In testing, it worked out pretty well, so I'm actually hyped for it, but let's see if it actually manages on live stream to get some wins. So, for those that don't know, Felothar The Steadfast, as I mentioned earlier, is in the pre-con for the Tarkir Dragonstorm deck. But here, if you don't know it, here's how it goes. Felothar The Steadfast here, Abzan, 0/5 human warrior, so no actual power to it, but there is a twist to it we're going to talk about. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Creatures you control can attack as though they don't have defender. And then you can then tap this card and pay 3 mana to sacrifice another creature. Draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness, then discard cards equal to its power. So the idea, of course, with Felothar is we're just going to throw up a ton of cards that have a high toughness. I don't really care if they actually have power. That power will get adjusted once Felothar comes out. If they have Defender, we also don't care that they have Defender because we'll still make them into offensive threats against our opponent's whole game plan here. So that's what we're going to try to do. However, we will need a little extra support, so we'll talk about that support in just a moment and kind of explain to you how we can manage to get all that. And what's sweet, of course, is if we don't need certain cards, we can just sack them, of course, to then refuel our hand very easily. Although you have to be tricky about it because you want to make sure you draw the cards at the right moment, because otherwise you might have to discard all the cards if the power is in play once his effect goes off. So just be mindful of that when you do play the card. Otherwise, this way, here's how we're going to be doing it. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me also catch up on the chat real quick. Oh, you guys are all chatting about. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see what you guys are talking about there. Okay. Don't give me that type of tease, Mr. Why you say it's changing forever. I mean, I'm not trying to be super dramatic about it, but again, once Final Fantasy drops for the game, now that means that we're accepting from this point onward that, of course, separate IPs will be accepted into standard. It was different when we did Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings was in already the modern format / and then Commander back. So that's why not too many people were making such a huge deal out of it, but it was kind of like the frog in the boiling pot. And now, of course, the water is about to boil over once Final Fantasy, because we will have these cards officially in standard. So again, not trying to be super crazy about it, but it does mean that the game has shifted a lot from what we once knew. So, but again, I'll probably do another rant video about that as we get closer to Final Fantasy. We'll kind of see where the chips fall with it. A lot of people are excited, but I do know some of the boomer Magic players, maybe not quite myself, but I do know some people are not happy with where things are going. I'm going to try to be as optimistic as possible, though, and I am hopeful that things should just kind of smoothen over, and we're all just going to have a lot of fun stuff going forward. Although I'm not going to lie, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not too fond still of the Spider-Man cards, but that's a whole nother can of worms that, I will not rant about too much on stream today. I want to, of course, get onto this game. So let's actually continue on with the deck tech itself before I kind of just ramble off into the middle of nowhere for this stream. Any case, going over the 1-drop slot here, we'll have Armored Armadillo here with Ward 1/04. It's a 1-drop for with 4 mana. You can give this plus X+0 until end of turn where X is its toughness, but we don't want to do that. We want to have this out for 1 drop, and then Felothar can pump it up without having to pay any mana for it. The Ward is because it's just a nice little bonus on top of that. Clockwork does drawbridge here, 0/3. It's a Waltz that has Defender. However, it has another ability where you can pay 3 to tap down a creature. This can be relevant a little bit later into the game if we're kind of at a standstill. Market Gnome here, also another 0/3 for 1 mana. If the card dies, just gain 1 life, draw a card. We don't care about that secondary ability because, again, we're not doing any crafting, but again, just nice little blocker here that can help us replace itself. Requisition rate here, artifact and enchantment hate, but you can also +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. That's actually a really good rate for this deck. Yoked Ox here. I can't believe we're actually we're going to use vanilla cards for this, but hey, they do work with the game plan here. So again, 0/4, 1-drop, but with the Felothar out, it can be a 1-drop with a 4/4 power. That's actually really gnarly for us. We will need, of course, a little bit of extra support for the deck, so we're going to throw in a little bit of removal here with cards like Annihilating Glare. Sacrifice either an artifact or a creature to pay only 1 mana to destroy a creature or planeswalker. Barrier of Bones here, 0/3 Defender. When it enters, surveil 1, so a little bit of light filtering. Bone Shards here, just a sacrifice another creature or discard a card to destroy a creature or planeswalker for just 1 mana. Concealing Curtains here, another Defender here that's a 0/4. However, you can transform it into the Eye Horror if you need to. Not a huge deal to transform it, but sometimes you might have moments where you might want to not have a Defender in case a Felothar is not out. Eaten Alive, again, more spot removal for the deck. Final Vengeance, also spot removal as well. Kaya's Ghost Form, really essential for the deck. Just make sure that Felothar, of course, stays on the battlefield so that way all of our defenders can actually do attacks. Urborg Repossession here, another great way to kind of bring back what we need. We have a lot of permanents in the deck, so we want to make sure we can just bring those cards back from our graveyard to our hand. We ideally want to play the kicker cost by paying again 2, so for 3 mana, you can gain 2 life and then get 1 extra permanent card from our graveyard to our hand, so that's actually really nice for us. Arboreal Grazer here, a cute, adorable little sloth beast here. However, it's a 0/3 and it has reach, so it can be a good little blocker, and it also could be actually a good offensive threat. Also allows us to put another land down for free. Porculus Vine here, another 0/3 Defender here. You can sacrifice another creature with Defender, and we can also draw a card. So kind of like a mini Felothar, if you will. Sauruli Caretaker here, another 0/3. It's actually one of our mana dorks here. It also has Defender, so it can just help us again if we want to be offensive, or if we just need a little bit of we just need a little bit more mana. Vastwood Fortification here. One of our tap lands can also be a +1/+1 counter spell in a pinch. Same with Revitalizing Repass here. Same thing. It's another tap land in a pinch, or it can be, again, a +1/+1 counter and also protection for one of our creatures until end of turn. Walking Bulwark here. This is actually a really good card considering how cheap it is. A 1 mana 0/3 with Defender. However, if you can pay 2 mana, target creature with Defender gains haste, and it can attack as though it doesn't have Defender, and assigns combat damage each equal its toughness rather than its power. That's actually all on just an uncommon. That's actually really sweet, and actually is perfect for our deck. So this is actually kind of like also the same thing. Mini Felothar, if you will, for what it can do. Brave the Sands here. Creatures we control will have vigilance, so this means we can just swing freely and then just have our big beefy defenders just make sure we can keep blocking our opponent for days. And also, each of our creatures can block an additional creature on each combat. It's actually really cool for us with how our deck is designed. Builder's Talent here is going to be one of our enchantment classes, so it can create a 0/4 defender wall. At level 2, however, you can then put +1/+1 counters on creatures every time a non-creature, non-land permanent we control enters. And then at level 3, for 5 mana, target non-creature, non-land permanent can go from the graveyard back to the battlefield. So we can just bring stuff back we need to and create a big defense. Crystal Barricade here, 2 mana, 0/4 wall, defender. We give ourselves hexproof, and also we can prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures we control. So we avoid basically like burn-style wraths, if you will. Giant Ox here is 2 mana, 0/6. We don't have any vehicles in the deck, but again, if we can make this a 6/6 for 2 mana, that's an insanely good rate for us. Razorgrass Ambush, again, more spot removal for the deck, but it could also be a land. Same thing with Sedgery Shelter for protection, but also can be a land. And Skyclave Cleric here, it's a 1/3, so it's actually a pretty good rate for us, but it can also be a land in a pinch we need to. Birth of Meletis, again, another solid enchantment saga for us. It can get for us out basic planes, and also creates for us a wall defender, which goes perfectly with our game plan, and also helps us gain a little bit of life for stabilization. Daxos Blessed by the Sun here. We, of course, can get this defense pumped up a lot, so if we can then flip that defense into a really powerful offense with how this deck is designed, and also we gain a ton of life whenever creatures enter or die. Blight Pile here. This is actually also a really good card for us. For a defender cost, this is 3/3, so actually you don't need to pump it up realistically, but you want this card for its other ability. For 3 mana, tap it down. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creatures with defender we control. So this is great for us if the board state kind of gets gummed up. Deadly Dispute, if we just again need to sack something in instant speed, just helps us draw some cards, makes a treasure. Fanatical Offering can do the same thing, but of course creates for us a map token instead. Shealder's Edict here, we do have an Edict effect for us to just get rid of something we don't want to deal with. Terramat, Chosen from Death here, the opposite of Daxos here, so it's actually going to also get a big amount of toughness here, but we can also use this Graveyard Hate as the game progresses. Archer's Parapet here for a 0/5 for 2 mana. It also has Defender, however we can also tap it to make each opponent lose 1 life. We would rather use Blight Pile here, but the Parapet here still does perfectly fine as is. Assault Formation is one of our all-stars in this deck, so we'll talk about this card for just a moment here. A 2 mana green enchantment that reads, each creature we control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So same thing as Felothar, but it does not turn on the defenders into offensive creatures, but we can if we want to pay 1 green mana. So then that means target creature with defender can attack as though it doesn't have defender. And also for 3 mana, creatures we control get +0/+1 until end of turn for extra big defenses. Fortuitous Vinewall here, 0/2 defender. When this enters, just dig 6 cards deep and get a land card out for us. That's good. Into the North is just one of our ramp spells. Overgrown Arch here, 0/4 defender. We can tap it down to gain 1 life. You can sacrifice it to learn, although we don't have a sideboard for learning. It just helps us, again, just filter through things where we can discard a card, draw a card. Sylvan Caryatid here, also another classic card for us. Has defender, has hexproof, so it is protecting against itself. And also you can just tap it down to then add mana. Tangle Florahedron doesn't really go with any other part of the game plan here, but again, it just provides for us a mana dork, or we can make it a tap land depending on what we need more. Terra Sunder here, artifact and enchantment hate, and we can kick it to then make it destroy a non-land permanent of any choice. Tower Defense here, this could actually be a sneaky good card here if we have Felothar out. This means that technically, if Felothar's out and we swing with this, Tower Defense can give all of our creatures an extra massive pump if everything works out just fine. Wall of Blossoms here, 0/4 defender. It enters, helps us draw a card. Fracture again for more artifact enchantment and planeswalker hate. Arcane Signet, we are in 3 colors, so we want to make sure we can fix accordingly with our mana rock. And the 3-drop slot will have Make a Stand here, gives all of our creatures indestructible until end of turn. Back for Seconds here can just bring back a lot of our walls on all of our stuff. Again, if we also pay the bargain cost, we can then get 2 cards out. 1 enters the battlefield, and then 1 goes back to our hand, but either way, it's a solid card for recursion. Bogger Trawler here, same thing. It doesn't really synergize per se with the deck, but again, it's a free roll because, again, it can either be Graveyard Hate for us if we need to, or just use it as a land depending on whatever goes on. This is actually now a hilarious one here. Catapult Fodder here. It's a 1/5, 3 mana. So at the beginning of combat on our turn, if we control 3 or more creatures that each have toughness greater than their power, we can transform this creature, which is perfect for our deck here. And then by flipping it, it becomes a 2/6, and then we can sacrifice another creature to make an opponent lose life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. So this is also another way to kind of help close out the game quicker against opponents. Skullport Merchant here. Again, same thing. It has a high toughness. It's not perfectly synergistic with the deck, but it creates for us a treasure, and then we can sacrifice other things we need to just draw some cards. Cry of the Carnarium is excellent for our deck because we have a lot of high toughness creatures, so we don't care that it gets -2/-2 to all creatures. However, we can just kind of get rid of all the lower end, well, I don't know, mana dorks and tokens and everything. This is a solid removal for our deck. Bridgework Battle here, same thing. It's basically a free roll for our deck. It can either be a land if we need it to be, or you can use it as a fight mechanic at any given point in the game. Clifftop Lookout here. It doesn't really have a high toughness, but again, it's a Frog Scout. It can be a 2/2 once Felothar turns itself on. However, we can utilize it, of course, just to dig out another land if we need to. Cultivate here, again, for more ramp. Garruk's Uprising. We don't technically have creatures with power 4 or greater until we get to combat, but once we do, by doing so, we can then make all of our high toughness creatures have power, and they have trample. Hornet Nest here. This is actually one of my pet cards here, and honestly, I'm going to be real clear with you guys right now. I do have a hilariously fun, janky game plan and some kind of deck tech that I'm working on that will involve a lot of these Hornets. So stick around for that. I'm going to try to build that one. That's going to be mostly just a fun casual deck that I will try to put together a little bit later on once we have a little bit of free time. Maybe before we get to actual, once we actually wrap up Dragonstorm, maybe we'll do this as like a fun build around for the set before Final Fantasy. Stick tuned for that one. That one's going to be fun. Indulging Patrician here is 1/4, 3 mana. It's a Vampire Noble, has flying, it has lifelink, and then at the beginning of our end step, if an opponent gained 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. But this is actually solid for us because with Felothar out, it becomes a 4/4, and that means we can hit our opponent for 4 and then drain them for an additional 3. That's actually really sweet. Huatli's Sun's Heart here, one of our only planeswalkers, but it works perfectly with the deck. Each creature we control assigns combat toughness rather than its power. So in other words, it's just kind of like Felothar itself, and then take it down if we need to just gain some life for stabilization. Strength of the Harvest, again, it's not technically fits too well with the deck, but we do have quite a few enchantments, so this actually helps us out a bit with all of our creatures and enchantments, or it can be a tap land if we need it to. Abzan Banner, we are the Abzan clan, so we had to throw this in here again for flavor purposes, but it helps tap us down for what we need. In the 4-drop slot here, Wing Mantle Champion here, a 4 mana 0/3. It's a cleric, it's a human, it also has Defender. When it enters, create a bunch of bird tokens equal to the number of creatures with Defender we control. Whenever another creature we control with Defender enters, make another token. So this is actually solid for us to help us kind of go wide if we need to, maybe make some birds as chump blockers. It's actually solid. Witch Enchanter here, same thing, just like all of our other free rolls here. Doesn't really synergize with the deck, but it is a free roll because it can either be a land if we need it to be, or it could just be, again, just more artifact enchantment hate. Felothar Profane, same thing. It can either be a land if we need to, or it's, again, creature or planeswalker hate. Bedrock Tortoise here, solid as a 4 mana 0/6 turtle here. During our turn, creatures we control have hexproof, so that actually provides for us a nice little protective bubble if we need to. And of course, same thing like our other game plan here. Each creature we control with toughness greater than its power assigns that combat power equal to that. So in other words, just again, same thing what Felothar is trying to do. Ancient Lumberknot here, same thing. It does the exact same thing as the Bedrock Tortoise, but it's a little bit weaker here. It's a 1/4, but it still does the exact same thing. Binding of the Old Gods here, one of our overall catch-all removal spells, destroys a non-land permanent, helps us dig out a forest, and then give all of our creatures Death Touch until end of turn. Maha here, doesn't seem like it fits in the deck, but hear me out here for a second here. This is actually one of the cards that I actually really like with the idea of cards such as, say, our, Cry the Carnarium. So with that out and Maha, we can basically just sweep away the entire board and just take out our opponent in one fell swoop. By putting all of our opponent's creatures at toughness 1, it's actually hilarious when you consider everything that's going on with it. And sorry, guys. I'll catch up with the chat in just a second. I'm almost done, though. Glasswing Grace here. 5 mana aura enchantment here. Gives one of our creatures +2/+2 and flying and lifelink, or it can be a tap land if we need it to be. Betor Kin to All. This was the alternate commander that I thought about doing for the deck, but I thought it actually might be better in the 99. So Betor here is a 5 mana 5/7 spirit dragon with flying that reads, at the beginning of our end step, if creatures we control have a total toughness of 10 or greater, draw a card, which is perfect for our deck. Then, if we control a bunch of creatures with a total toughness of 20 or greater, untap every creature we control. And then finally, and this is hilarious, if creatures we control have a total toughness of 40 or greater, that's a lot, by the way. I don't know if we can get to that, but we'll try. Each opponent loses half their life rounded up. So this can be a great way to close out the game if we have a ton of defense up on the board. And then wrapping it up at the very end of the slots here, Belligerent Brontodon here, the 7 mana 4/6. Same thing, it just does the exact same thing as Ancient Lumberknot here and Bedrock Tortoise. And then finally, in the 8-drop slot, this is also one of our other ways we can kind of just shut down our opponent's game plan here. Overwhelming Splendor. Doesn't really fit with the deck per se, but it does help us, again, just weaken our opponent's stuff when we can just overwhelm them with our major toughness creatures. Enchant a player, and then make sure that all of their creatures have only a base power and toughness of 1/1, and enchanted players cannot activate abilities that aren't mana or loyalty abilities. So that's great for us. All right, so as far as this mana base is concerned, we are going to start with, of course, as always, with the budget version, and then we'll show you again what you can do if you really want to upgrade the budget a little bit later into the game. But what we have right now for the first half will be 4 plains, 4 swamps, 4 forests, a Bajuka Bog for even more graveyard hate. We have Goldmire Bridge here, Snowfield Sinkhole, Drossmore Bridge, Woodland Chasm, Arctic Tree Line, Thornlight Bridge, and of course the reason why we want these specific lands is these ones can be fetched out at least with our Into the North because they are snowlands. And of course, the artifact ones can be helpful for some of the artifact synergies we have later on. Otherwise, the other utilities we'll use is Deceptive Landscape for our fetch land here. We'll also use Sandseep Citadel for, again, fixing. Arid Archway, of course, bounces anything we need back, and also it's great for us to then reutilize any one of our land spells. Command Tower is a staple in the deck. Demolition Field for non-basic land hate. Evolving Wilds for another fetch, Pit of Offerings for some more pseudo graveyard hates, Reliquary Tower to make sure we have a ton of cards in hand that we don't have to discard, and Volatile Fault is the exact same as Demolition Field. So, woo! Okay, everybody. Thanks again for hanging in there. Sorry, I do apologize I did not catch up with the chat, but I'll catch up with you all in just a second here. Dan Splendid, if we have time, I might introduce, honestly, my new favorite budget Brawl deck with Teferi Temporal, with my tradition of it still being 1 mythic rare and no more, the rest are commons and uncommons. Well, that sounds exciting, but if we have time, I'll see if we can get around to that. We'll check that out. Madness Steve on YouTube there. Thanks again for joining us today, my fiery friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Madness saying, swapped out my Overwhelming Splendor for another board wipe in the deck that I call the Salt deck. Oh, man. At some point, well, of course, we will have to make our own oppressive, salty deck, although it's usually not my style. I do realize that it's been a while since we played an oppressive style type of deck, so maybe we'll do that in the future, where we're going to be all control in Brawl and just kind of just lock out our opponent from doing anything. But we'll consider that in the future. But thanks again for that, Madness Steve. I'm sure that deck is probably really, really gnarly. I would agree, Steve. I agree. Hey, hang on a second. On a second front. Oh, Den Splendor, also you're kind of double watching there. Appreciate that though, by the way. All right, enough of me rambling though. We are now going to just jump into it and finally play this deck. All right, so can our toughness game plan be what can be an effective way to win? All right, well, let's find out. I'm feeling super good about this one. Whew, okay, let's get ourselves started here. And let's see how well we can do. All right, bring it on.
It's time to do.
All right. Okay, so we have ramp. We're very slow right now with a lot of tap lands, but that's okay. We can lock out our opponent with Maha here if we want to. So we'll see. So nice, you said it twice there. All right, cool. Let's see here. We'll play Strength of the Harvest tapped. But thankfully, again, with our Arid Archway, we can always bounce these back and reuse them as our enchantments later on in the game. Our opponent is playing Elspeth here, so expect a lot of tokens. A lot of tokens, by the way. All right. In the meantime, another tap land. All we're just going to try to do right now is just build up our defenses here. Heir Apparent. Ow. Opponents! You're playing that game plan? This is going to be kind of boring. All right, but I mean, it happens. This is a very easy to put together deck. And I do realize that at some point, I thought about doing as kind of like a set of gimmick videos. The ultra budget decks could have been just these types of decks where they use a bunch of creatures and then throw together one plane or cheap planeswalker or creature. But that was kind of boring. And that wouldn't really be very fun for content reasons. So that's why I kind of refrain from utilizing these kinds of spells and creatures for budget decks. I realize that those decks also tend to be a little on the expensive side, actually. It's just because of how much people want those cards. All right, so thankfully now we have our ramp going, so we just need to buff up our defenses, and we should be able to stop the Heir Apparent nonsense before it gets too out of control. But here come the bunnies, swinging away. Man, Steve, we need to 1v1 Infernoman. Oh, yes. I mean, at some point, I do remember I did say this, so maybe 1 or 2 streams before we officially get to Final Fantasy, I will make the announcement that we will do our player-based streams. It's been a couple months since we've done one, and it's been actually a while where I'm excited to see what y'all have been cooking up. So I will try to see if we can get that going. What day would that be then? So let's see. Okay, so June 1st is Sunday, so that means probably I'm going to say maybe next Friday or Saturday. Let's do it that way, guys. Next Friday or Saturday, we'll set up the player battle stream again. So this is going to be part 3 to that. So bring again your decks in the next week or so, and I'll be ready to go to face off against any of you who want to take me on. All right. Otherwise, okay, so we need to get going here because I realize our opponent is getting a little bit frisky here. Betor. Okay. So Bettor's on field now, so that's good. We can block for a little bit. Jahamed71, thanks again for joining us today, my fighter friend. Hopefully you're having a great day wherever you're at. But yes, I know you guys are all getting excited because actually we're getting quite a few of you now that have been interested in wanting to take me on. So I will put that together for us. We'll make sure we can get together a player-based stream. Bring any decks. You can play against me in any format you want to. And then I'll even let you guys decide. You guys want to take me on with budget stuff, or you want me to go all out? Either way, I am excited for that one. We will definitely get that going soon. Okay, so let's see. How do we do this here? Our opponent basically has us on the ropes at this point. I don't know if we're going to try. I don't know if we can get through this. Probably our opponent already has a beat here. Tap land. Wait, does that? No vigilance, so. We do get to draw a card, though. But it might be a little bit too late here. I mean, we'll block at least here, because our opponent, once they get to combat, our stuff will get strong again. 6th of June? That looks like, yeah, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be the 6th or the 7th. I have to look at my schedule coming up. Okay, opponent is getting cheeky here. I mean, they probably already beat us here, because... But, I mean, we tried. We tried. Our opponent got us with the annoying gimmick of bunnies. I mean, I'm not going to hold too much weight of losing this one, because, again, they just played a really simple... strategy that it's kind of brainless at this point. No offense. If y'all like playing with the heir apparent game plan here, more power to you, but I'm kind of over at this point. Only just because it's super easy. It's kind of like when you face off against the people that play Relentless Rats, the mono black rats that lets you play as many rats as possible. I mean, there's just not much of a strategy to that. You just slap down your rats and just swing away. You just either win all in one shot or you just lose. So, I don't know. Y'all like those kinds of decks where you just play as many creatures of the same type as you want? I mean, at least Persistent Petitioners, I mean, that kind of requires a little bit more thought process. Or what is it? Or the mono red one that requires you to play a bunch of the red sorcery spells. Honestly, that one's probably the worst one. But at least that one requires a little bit of thought process. Am I going crazy with that? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts on cards that you can play with that allow you to play as many copies of it as you want. All right, so we're going to load up here, waiting for our opponent here. And at this point now, we pretty much have the entire Final Fantasy set. I'll try to see if maybe later today, if I haven't already done so. I need to put up that poll, by the way. What format do you guys want me to build for first for when we do our first live stream to debut Final Fantasy? You guys want me to play in Pioneer, a standard deck? Oh, all right. Guess we're not playing this match. All right, we'll try again. Let's try this. And to see, that's why I run Ixalan's Binding in Brawl. Ooh. That actually sounds really good. That's actually a pretty cool idea. I'll think about that for the future anytime I play a mono white deck or any deck that has white. That actually is a really solid option to lock out those kinds of decks. And that actually sounds really dirty, by the way. Like, I just imagine, like, Ixalan's Binding. You bind away a heir apparent, and your opponent basically literally cannot play anything else for the entire game. That is hilarious, by the way. Dirty, but is also hilarious. Okay, let's try this again, everybody. I think we can do better this time around. Okay, this time also I might have to mulligan, because we have some stuff here. We can't really play much. All right, I think we'll mulligan this. Okay, I think we can work with this. This should be fine. All right. What opponent? We got Adeline here, so... Opponent... Oh, okay. Guide of Souls already. All right, well, I guess our opponent wants to go in on life gain. I guess that's fine for us. So in that case, then... How do we do this here? I guess Strength of the Harvest. We could put down Overgrown Arch and kind of slowly gain life while we build up our defenses. But opponent here wants to start getting a ton of life and energy. They swinging? Nothing yet? Okay. Well, that's fine. Reliquary Tower. Overgrown Arch. So we have a good defense for now. At least until our opponent starts... Ooh, Cathar Commando. Okay. They gain some life. But thankfully, again, the Arch can block the Commando for a bit. So we'll be okay. Against one... Yeah, I did it on a budget as well. Simple, clean, and good with Elspeth. I kind of hate it myself, but it will get your dailies granted, like, guaranteed. Yeah, that is true, though. Even if I'm not fond of it, if you just need a way to get dailies done quick, I guess that probably is the simplest way to do it. All right, we're down to 22. All right, we have into the north. So let's try... Okay. We do need to build up our defenses quick. Into the north. So this helps us dig out at least one of our duels. Let's see. We'll get out... Let's see. We'll get out Woodland Chasm. Sacrifice Evolving Wilds. Let us get out another green source. All right, and pass. Okay. Well, the good news is now we have everything fixed. We just need to get down Felothar, and we can start blocking for a little bit. We also have enough for Terror Sunder if we need to slow things down more. Ooh, Enduring Innocence. That's might be a problem for us, but we'll try. Enduring Innocence is a card. And they are going to start drawing cards now. All right. Do they pump? They do. Enjoy. Okay, well, our opponent right now has a pretty good advantage against us. And Adeline... Ugh. Not looking too good here. Okay. I do have a way of getting around Adeline, though. Down to 19. Down to 8. Ugh, jeez. This is already bad enough. Okay, well, I guess we'll just gain some life. Not much of a help right now, but okay. Let's see here. We will... Tap the forest. Arid Archway. Bouncing back the forest. Terror Sunder. Alien's got to go by now. So, hopefully we just get rid of that here. Okay. So then, Commander down, and we can pass. Jeez, our opponent has got off to a fast start. That is one of the things I've noticed about our deck here. I like what it's doing, but the issue is if our opponent can get really offensive really quickly, we might get run over quite a bit. Yes, we need that mini rat. That if we had Cry of the Carnarium right now, this would be so good right here. All right, Adeline coming back. Round 2. Ugh. Not good. But we'll swing again. We could stop the big stuff for a little bit longer. But our opponent will still keep getting stuff going with Guided Souls and Enduring Innocence. Wait, hold on. All right. Block here. Gain 1 life. All right. We're surviving, but we're not doing much of anything. Okay, Clifftop Lookout. All right. Get that forest down now. Let's see here. Betor coming down now. At least this helps us draw a card. So, best we can do for now. End turn. Okay, so we draw a card. At least with Betor, it is pretty easy to draw stuff. Oh, we got Binding in the... I don't know if we're going to survive long enough to have Binding in the Old Gods do anything. We'll try. Dense Minute. So remember the Vraska, the Relic Seeker I tried to make a Brawl deck with? Don't. It's garbage. As the deck builder myself, just don't bother with her. No. That's a shame to hear. I do like the card, but I guess she's just not worth it. Okay. One's going to make a lot... Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I think that this might be game as well. Dang. Okay. I guess we're facing off against mono... Wow. We're facing off against a lot of mono white decks today. I mean, we can block here, but it doesn't really matter at this point. All right. Fine, opponents. Gain life. But we still lose again. Can we face off against something else that's not mono white? Come on, Arena. Give me something else. I swear if I'm going to be facing against Adeline's and Elspeth all day, it's going to be not very fun. Okay. It's okay, though. Shaking it off. Shaking it off, everybody. We're going to try... I'm going to try this again. Okay. Okay. Either way, it's fine. Okay. Breathing in. Alright. We're good. We're going to get our win here. Don't worry. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
It's time to
Yeah. All right. So with that, we're going to keep this hand here so we can definitely ramp. Okay. So with that, all right, let's see here. We will do Forest. Get down our Vine. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent is playing Brawl here, Crackling Wit, as an Otter. So cute, by the way. So that means they're playing Is It. So a lot of spell slinging. We'll just need to make sure we can keep our costs and stuff down low. In the meantime, here we can play into the north. Get a Snowland. We'll get out Woodland Chasm. Tapped. All right. Okay, opponent, what do you got? What you got? Bring it on. Thermal Alchemist, okay. They got their own defender here, so this is going to be a little bit slow for a bit, but that's fine. Demolition Field. We will play Skullport Merchant. Make a treasure. And then we will pass from there. We'll hold on to that treasure for just a moment in case of anything else needs to go off. So, let's see. Felothar can come down. We have our Vine Wall. Case of the Ransacked Lab. Alright. I haven't seen anybody play this one, so... Okay. You have to cast 4 instances for it to solve. Okay, interesting. Okay. Nothing yet, obviously, from our opponent here, because... But this does help us slow down the game a bit. Okay. Floriferous Vine Wall. Did I say that right? Floriferous Vine Wall. Floriferous Vine Wall. Words are hard, by the way. Okay. Dense, but it's a Fairy Temporal Pilgrim. Definitely worth your time, even on a tight budget. Interesting. Good to know for the future. Good to know. Opponent. Opponent. Yoo-hoo! Hello! There we go. Still there. Okay, in the meantime, I guess we'll get out, not the Pit of Offerings. A little slow, but it is a land we can use. We can only get into the north. That's okay. It does count. No attacks. Pass. Opponents, what you got? So I think we should be set up to then start swinging very hard once Felothar hits the field. We have now enough, and also the tower defense actually can steamroll our opponent here if they're not careful. I just need to make sure they actually tap out. Oh, opponent, how dare you? You're playing alchemy cards? That's dirty, by the way. Okay. Let's get our life gain. Wait, no, hold on. Oh, never mind. This is actually the sacrifice. We don't want to do that. Not yet. Okay, so here's how we do this here. Felothar The Steadfast. All right, we came here to again cast our creature. But here's how we do this, everybody. We will play tower defense. Pump everything up. There we go. And then, look at that. Everything is just super big right now. Big swing. Do you block opponents? This is going to be a heavy hit if you do not block. Okay, they answer one. We just hit them, of course, literally down to 10 in one massive swing. So that is the power right there of tower defense. Woo! Feeling good about that one. Okay, opponent, you got an answer? They need to basically do something this turn. If they don't do anything this turn, I think we might be able to win on the next turn. But look at how quick we can flip it around with Felothar. With him out, our cards hit very hard, very quickly if our opponent does not have an answer for us. 4 cards, opponent. What you got? Come on. We're waiting. Bring it on. Come on. Ooh, clock is ticking. Wildfire Howl. Oh, okay. All right, well, they took care of one card. Do they have more? Do they actually have another removal? Into the fire. Okay. All right, well, our opponent found a way. Now I feel like we should have kept that defense up. Wow, they actually had Multiple little rats here. Virtue of Courage. Okay. Do they actually manage to get the Case of the Ransack Lab to go off? Wow. Okay. Prismari command. All right. Wow, they actually managed to get that to go off. I'm actually kind of impressed. Okay. Well played, opponents, but don't worry. I'm not afraid of you just yet. Left top lookout. Let's get out another land to ramp. Okay. Okay, let's exile their graveyard. Hopefully they don't need anything from the graveyard. Okay, so that's all gone. I'll apply a Clockwork Bridge, or Drawbridge. Alright, so we're starting to rebuild. If we can just put down the Overwhelming Splendor maybe next turn, I think we might be able to lock them out. Hopefully. We actually do need another white source, though. That would be nice. Okay, Brawl, Crackling Wits. Okay.
Laugh all you want. I'm still the master.
This is also the reason why we held on to the Fel the Profane. So this actually might help us out here if we can just take him out.
Together we can shift the current.
Okay, opponents? Nothing yet. That's fine. Okay, draw Smorn Bridge. We can bring down Felothar. Okay, opponents? Okay, so that's how this works. So with that, opponents? Nothing yet. Okay. So Felothar is now out. We just need to then shut down their creatures here with Overwhelming Splendor or Fel the Profane something away. We should be good to go. Man, we're so close, though. We're so close.
Oh, yeah. Plans coming together.
All right. Now, all right. Back to our hand. But that's okay. That means it will be cheaper for a bit. Okay, so opponent is still trying to stay in this fight.
Hope you've got bottled light.
Okay, but the good news now is with that there, we can Fel the Profane. Okay, Brawl is back to the command zone. That does buy his time. Oh, they're actually playing all basics, so that's awkwardly something that our Demolition Field cannot deal with. Opponents? Clock's still ticking. Okay, so with that... Okay, Felothar coming down again. Okay. Opponent. 3 cards in hand. 4 cards in hand. They have enough to bring out Brawl again if they want to. But is that enough? Curial Spell Dancer. Okay. Put an oil count. Alright. Alright, so they do their thing here. Do they make more tokens? They do. Okay. Do they swing?
Otter to otter? I need some help.
Nope. Maybe. Ooh, they do swing. Okay. I'm just getting a little cheeky here. That's fine. Or not. They realize that Felothar can block, by the way. Okay, so with that, we will play Clifftop Lookout. Get another land. Clockwork Drawbridge. Alright. No attacks yet. If we have to, we can refuel with one of our cards here. Clockwork Drawbridge might be the best one, because that gets us 3 cards back to our hand. But we'll see. Virtue of Courage. Okay.
New world requires new strategy.
Okay. It's getting a little scary here. Do they have an answer? Anything.
Thanks for the helping paw.
Okay. They get a free hit. Annoying. Okay. Let us sacrifice our drawbridge. Draw 3 cards. Phew. Okay, that helps us out quite a bit. Okay, here we go. So with that, let's see. How do we do this here? Okay. Kind of a fodder. On Felothar. Flips. There we go. Okay, so with that, take out Brawl. Brawl's down. We go back to 21. That's nice. Now we need to deal with these things too. Oh, actually, maybe I should have taken out Brawl with our Eaten Alive. Okay. It's all right. We messed up a little bit there, but that's okay. We can still make it work. Either way, sacrifice a creature. What do we want to deal with here? Sacrifice Clip Top Lookout. All right. That's gone. Okay. So, yeah, still a little awkward because I want to get down this Overwhelming Splendor. We just can't do it because we are missing one actual white source. So awkward. All right, come on.
Don't underestimate me.
Thunder is spending a lot just to try to see if they can beat us here, but they're spending a ton of mana. However, with Felothar now with a Glassware Grace, there's no way they're going to be able to just stop this. Okay, Ancient Lumberknot. Okay. I think we got the win here, everybody. I think we got this. So here's how we do this. Swing. There we go, 3. And then sacrifice. Lumberknot goes to their face, and that's game, everybody. Victory. There we go. Much better there. All right. Yeah. Best offense is a good defense, everybody. Toughness matters here. All right. First one of the day, everybody. Super hyped about that one. There we go. Took us a little bit longer than I expected, but I'm feeling good about that. We finally got to see how the actual deck performs. All right. Let's see if we can get it going. Yep. Literally, just we're going to, once we hit our damage there, we just literally, we just start eating all of our creatures to our opponent's face, and we can get a victory that way. All right. Let's see if we can do it again. Okay, so with this, we have, again, what we need. Our Hornet's Nest can technically make a lot of little flying insects, so maybe that'll be what will help us out here. Okay, tap land. Okay, opponent, what you got? Bring it on. Okay, Reliquary Tower. All right. We will play the bridge. So we can get down Hornet Nest next turn, and also we can protect it with the Ghost Form if we want to. Okay, Vastward Fortification. All right, that's cool too. Okay, Hornet Nest. Opponents playing one of the worst cards they've actually created here. Really, Lom. I'm sorry. This one also is one of my most hated of the alchemy cards. Absolutely disgusting, by the way. All right, so Felothar coming in. If our opponent's not going to be swinging, we might as well start getting stuff down now. Hit him with Hornet Nest. Opponents. Down to 23. If we can get down Indulgent Patrician, this will be amazing, by the way. Okay, Plains. Ooh, Citywide Bus. Wow, they actually had that in hand? I'm a little surprised, but okay. Alright, I mean, that was a choice. Indulgent Patrician. Alright, opponents. Okay, and then with that, pass the turn. Okay, still can't quite make any bees just yet. I know they're... Okay, Lom coming in. Alright. Authority of the Consoles. Okay, here's where it gets disgusting. I don't know why Wizards decided this was a good idea. I honestly don't know. And I'm honestly going to be very annoyed here going forward with how this works. But we're going to try as best as we can. Okay, they get some life. We swing. We go down to 23. All right. Opponents. What other dirty shenanigans do you have? Declaration in Stone. Oh. Well, that's annoying. So unfortunately, our Hornet Nest goes bye-bye. And we get a clue token, but it doesn't really help us out. But come on, opponents. Okay. Well, I guess we could draw a card here. If we get our Cry to the Carnarian, that's probably the only thing that's going to help us survive. But I don't think we're going to get it in time. See, this is ridiculous. Come on. Come on. What is up with this? Who decided that this was appropriate to make? Ugh. I know. I probably shouldn't be complaining too much, but I'm going to complain. This is just not fun. This was not meant for Brawl at all. Seal away. Yeah, I'm not putting up with this nonsense. No, we're not doing with this, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're not going to indulge in our opponent's stupidity here. No. Say no to alchemy, kids. No. Okay. It's all right. Okay. Not going to be mad. People want to play with dirty alchemy cards. They're free to do so. But I'm not going to indulge in their ability to then just do ridiculous things like that. Nope. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we played our share of, like, gnarly, nasty combos before. But at least our combos seem a little bit more fair, if you will. I don't like to try to do things that, maybe I'm just because I'm an old school boomer Magic player. I always am just that person of, back in my day, we used to just play one spell, one turn, and we liked it. But seriously, though, it's just not fun. I don't know who finds it fun to just play, like, ridiculously broken stuff. And I played a lot of video games over the years that have a lot of broken mechanics. But the only fun thing about the games that were broken is everybody had to deal with the broken stuff. And everybody, no matter what your strategy was part of that broken mentality. Like, there's games like, what is it? There's a handful of fighting games I used to really enjoy, but they were absolutely broken no matter what you played, and they were still fun because everybody had to play with the broken cards. Let's see what else I was gonna say. Hold on one second. Let's get out our Evolving Wilds, Divine, and there was also some shooting games where things were just absolutely stupidly broken. But you know what? It was fun because everybody was playing broken stuff all together. Alchemy cards here feel like only select people that want to will play broken stuff, and it just still doesn't feel like fun. But again, that's just me ranting still. Sneaky Toilet, more power to High Noon. Yeah, you are not wrong on that one. But we couldn't play High Noon in this deck anyway because of the color restrictions. Excuse me. See, I'm allergic to alchemy. Okay, in the meantime, let's get out... Get our white source. Okay, so with that, we can now play... How do we do this here? Let's see, how do we do this? Okay, Arcane Signet. Well, I guess we'll just get a ramp going. And then we'll play... Fortification tapped. And nothing yet. Okay, opponent, what you got? Let's see what you got. Opponent? Thankfully, we can get our ramp going with Cultivates. Ooh, Hydra's Growth. Oh. That might be a problem if we don't get removal quick. Okay. Opponent's going to swing. Okay. No blocks. I mean, technically, the whole point of having defenders is to block, but we can't block them if we're going to have big stuff like this. Still, let's see if we can get around it. We will get down 2 black sources. Get 1 tapped. 1 there. Terramat, Chosen from Death. Okay. Well, those counters are going to get more out of control if we don't have an answer quick, so we're going to try. Fortunately, though, Wingmane Toll Champion might give us at least one more thing to kind of help us defend for a bit. No blocks yet. Okay. Slow down, opponents. Slow it down. Let us play Catapult Fodder. And Wingmane Toll Champion. There we go. Make some birds. That flips. Okay. We're starting to build up a better defense now. Little by little. But our opponent is starting to get a little out of control here. We gotta try to find a way to stop him quick. That's fun. Oh yeah, remember the dreaded Aurelio reworks in League of Legends, laughable -5 nobility nerf. Like, bruv. Not knowing the context of League of Legends, I assume that was probably disgusting. But again, like, if I was to date myself here, like, and I'll say this too. When I used to, back in the day, this little fireball, I actually used to work at Activision. I kid you not. I used to be a game tester way, way back in the day. God, I'm so old right now. But seriously, I used to actually do game testing for Activision in the era of Guitar Hero and Call of Duty back in its heyday. And that was a lot of fun. But yeah, there was definitely, what was it? Original Modern Warfare 2, the 2009 version. I actually did game test. But man, that game was absolutely broken. But in the most fun way possible. So that's an example of one that I would definitely say is something that would be a lot more fun with what I know now. Okay, Felothar. And we'll play Abzan Banner. All right, so things now are all beefier, so this is good for us. But we can't attack just yet until we get rid of that Diamond Knight. That Diamond Knight is going to be a pain if we do not have an answer for it. But okay, let's try. Let us try. Okay. More alchemy nonsense. Yeah. Okay, Diamond Knight still getting pumped. Okay. If we had a Death Touch creature, this also would be okay too. Okay, opponent's gonna swing. Okay. Do they swing them both? Okay, nothing yet. Thankfully, our little burbs here are gonna have to chump block for us. Sorry, little burbs. You're gonna die. Ouch. I got like atomized from that. Deadly Dispute. Not quite what I wanted to see, but that might be helpful for us. I mean, Daxos. And then, let's see. We will wait it out for a turn here. Okay, opponents. Still pumping. Oh my goodness. If they have any trample, we're so dead. We have to find a way around this, and quick. Because this is just getting out of hand. So out of hand right now. Okay. Opponent, what else you got? Kolga. Okay. What do they fight? Okay, if they fight whatever, at this point, thankfully, we can protect it. Opponent going after Felothar. Wingmantle champion. Oh, okay, the catapult. Okay. So, here's how we do this. Okay. Indestructible. Phew. Okay. But that does give us at least one turn to block also with Diamond Knight here. Opponents? Anything else? I might also sacrifice the Abzan banner too. Maybe that might be helpful here. Okay. It's a 7-0. Still blocking here. Okay. Minus 62. But hey, it helped. We got ourselves alive for a little bit longer here. Just a little bit. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Opponent? Yeah, I agree with your sentiment there, but I'm going to try to be nice, and I will not try to swear. Again, I'm not a person that likes to swear too often, but I totally get your sentiment. All right, we'll draw some cards. Giant Ox, okay. You know what? We'll also sacrifice. We need to refuel here quick. So, Vine. Sacrifice. Gain some life. Draw 3 more cards. Okay. Cryocarnarium, not horrible. And Fanatical Offering. Okay. So, let's see here. Demolition Field. Can't do anything still. But we can still maintain our defenses. I think that's probably our best option right now. And we can get at least a couple more tokens here. Giant Ox. Okay. Not much else realistically. If we just can get rid of that Diamond Knight, we just, again, I swear, we have so much spot removal in the deck. Where is our spot removal? Come on, deck. I need a Fatal Push like yesterday. Or, I don't know, anything. Anything. Any of our removal. Any spot removal we have. I swear, I just need one spot removal card just to shut down this Diamond Knight. Because it is, I mean, it's hilarious that it's at 123 counters, but I need something quick. And they haven't even played their Vorinclex yet, which also troubles me. All right, come on. Come on, opponents. Do your thing. I might have to sacrifice also Giant Ox, but that does give me 6 cards to refuel if we need to dig for an answer. And I mean dig deep. Ivy Lane Denizen, okay. Never would have thought a Diamond Knight of all things right now would actually be halting our whole game plan here. But we can chump block. At least our opponent doesn't have trample. Please don't have trample. That's all I'm asking. I swear, we can get back into this fight. We can. We just need one. Okay, Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. Okay, they are getting close to tapping out, which I'm hoping I'm hoping they do. Okay, they're pumping up Kolga just in case, I guess. They can return a human back. They don't have any humans, though. They only have elves, so... Oh, Rapid Bite. Okay. Well, I mean, we can sacrifice that. Didn't want to, but I suppose that helps out a little bit. So, fizzles. Okay, opponents. Swing big. Oh, I'm so sorry, little bird. Our little 1/1 here. Oh, no. The life of a token, everybody. Having to take literally one for the team. Press F in the chat. So sorry, little one. Rip. Rip. Okay, so. Alright, we'll do this again. Giant Ox. Most likely is going to be our best sack here. Gain some life. Draw a ton of cards, but we need to dig deep here. Like, seriously dig deep. Okay. Wow, we're still not getting our spot removal. Where is our spot removal at? I'm so... Ugh. Okay, okay, it's okay. We will try still. Okay. As long as we can also have defenders, we can still make more... We can make more birds, so that does buy us time. Oh, okay, okay, there's our spot removal. Okay. We need to draw into that, like, now. Okay. In the meantime, let's just build up defenses real quick. Gain some life. Put that bridge onto the battlefield. Okay. Hornet Nest. If this actually goes off the way I think it does, Hornet Nest also can do the most funniest thing in the world right now. Hornet Nest can block the Diamond Knight, and we can make almost over 100 and plus insects. Okay, okay. I think we do have an option here. I think we do have a way of getting out of this. Let us wait here. No attacks. Okay. Opponent, if you don't know what's about to hit you right... Oh my god, that's 260? Okay. As long as our opponent does not have trample, I think we might have a way of doing this. Alright, Vorinclex coming down. Okay. Do you swing, opponent? You have one card left in hand. Okay, they put it on the Kolga. That's fine. Swing, opponents. I dare you. I dare you to swing right now. Oh my goodness. Does our opponent not know what's going to happen here? We're about to do the funniest thing in the world right now. That Hornet Nest. Oh, opponent, you should not have done that. Opponents. Oh my goodness. Is Arena gonna break right now? Oh my goodness. I'm in tears right now. He actually swung into it. Opponent, did you not know what was gonna happen? Oh my goodness. Okay, if we crash right here. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're gonna break Arena right now. I need to clip this. Okay, okay. Oh my god. Oh, opponent. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I need a moment. Oh my goodness, my heart right now. Oh my goodness, our opponent. This is why. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I need to breathe for a second here. Okay. For anybody that did not see that, okay. For context, okay. So, I have to explain this real quick. So, our opponent here allowed us to get 200. Like, there's so many triggers that were off right here. Daxos alone would have just refueled us on life. Look at that. 276 life. And then he made us so many tokens. This alone would have helped to just literally win on the spot. But even if we didn't want to, we could just literally now block our opponent. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we did that. I'm so happy I had the Hornet Nest. I swear, this is one of my favorite cards. So many people do not know what you could be doing wrong if you swing into that. He woke up all the bees. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm so glad we got that one. You know what? Anything else we do for the remainder of this stream, I'm good. I got to have that meme card go off. Oh my goodness. This is why this game is fun. Okay. You know what? Let's do one more budget one, and then we'll jump to now the we'll jump to the non-budget one. But oh my goodness, I can't believe he did that. Opponent. Oh, you made my day. Oh, that made my whole day, everybody. I'm so glad we got to do that. I'm so glad you all got to see that today. Oh man, that was beautiful. I honestly thought Arena was gonna crash there because supposedly if you go off that many tokens, like there's a reason why they limit you on 250 tokens. Anything beyond 250 in the game used to crash like a lot. So the fact that we actually managed to break it like that for a moment, oh man, that was beautiful. Ah man. I'm sorry. I'm coming down from the high from that, everybody. Oh man, that was my jam. That was it, everybody. That's why you play Arena. That's why you play this kind of stuff. Oh man. Woo! Opponent there definitely make me feel really good about the game. I know. It's like, what is it? I need to know. I know what I need to do for I definitely know how I'm gonna clip that later on. I definitely know. All right. So in the meantime, light pile. Okay. We'll play demolition field. So the idea, of course, I have is I need to get that clip from y'all have seen the movie. I don't know if I'm dating myself here. What is it? Is it The Wicker Man? Is that the movie with It's that movie with oh man, wow, I'm forgetting the actor right now. I'll go for the throw. Oh, it's. But yeah, the Wicker Man starring oh my goodness, I can't look it up right now. I need to look it up. But I also want to play the game, so hold on. I swear. Oh, there we go. Nick Cage. There we go. Nicolas Cage, Wicker Man. So right there. Ah, not the bees. Not the bees. Ah, ah. That's. I need to clip that for. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot that. But yes, I need to clip that for the thing. Yes. There we go. We need to get that clip for the YouTube short. I think I might actually build that later today if I haven't cracked open a booster pack. There we go. Yes. Yes. We got to do it though. We got to do it at some point. Okay. Oh, I see also on Instagram there, Min0410. Thanks again for joining us today over there. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I see you over there. Thanks again for that. Appreciate you. All right. In the meantime, let's go ahead and we need to destroy our opponent's squirrels and vermin here. No, 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 opponent. You are not getting off all of your shenanigans with your squirrels. Okay, so we destroy that. No attacks yet. Binding of the Old Gods, thankfully, will get us also out of forest, so that's good. Toilets, you guys want to learn some African swear words? Wait, what? Stinky Toilet, there's no swearing on this chat. At least I try not to, though. Why? Where are you going with this? Okay, bridge. No attacks yet. Okay, so we do at least have now our setup here. We also did demolition field away that wooded foothills, or whatever else they crack for it. You might want to save that for the... You put that into the Discord chat, Sneaky Toilets. We're a clean stream. Or at least I try to be. I don't think I've sworn all that much on stream, or at least I don't think I have. I mean, I know some people don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm not really just... It's just not my thing. Okay, opponent is going to go underground mortuary. They surveil. But we're going to disrupt their surveil in just a second here, because we're about to then use that demolition field. Doubling season. Okay. All right, so underground mortuary's got to go. Force our opponent to shuffle. I don't think I've ever sworn. Yeah, I mean, I usually, because when I first started streaming, I did Arena, but I also mixed in some family-friendly stuff. So I would do what is it? Super Mario Maker. I used to actually do Mario Maker during its heyday when it was actually a really popular game. I had a lot of fun playing that game, but I realized when I was playing, there was a lot of kids that would actually watch. So that's what I started learning. I should probably be a little bit more on the cleaner side, because it only just helps that, you know, sometimes you do get kids that actually watch. And I don't consider myself like a role model per se. I'm definitely not a role model, but I try to at least be nice about it, just in case if you get others that just pop in. But at least that's me. Well, Dense Planet. Well, I already did for a good reason. I mean, you're not wrong, Dense Planets. You're not wrong. And I don't blame you for that, by the way. Actually, hold on. I guess we'll block the Sewer King. But that's just how I am. I know y'all want to swear or whatever. You know, just don't go too crazy now. But again, that's just how I am. Actually, also because of, you know, where I do my big boy job. Also, there is probably a place where you don't really swear at all. So, I mean, you know, being around families, just a thing. Opponent, do you actually have an answer for this? Please don't. Oh, sacrifice a squirrel. All right, pump it up. Phew. Okay. Death touch until end of turn. Not that it really helps us, but okay. Betor coming in now. Do we want to swing? Not really, I guess. Okay, draw a card. Okay. Strength of the Harvest is not bad. I watch a dude called Pangea Panda. Is that what it's called? I've never heard of this guy. Is he popular? What does he do? Is he like a variety streamer, gamer? Oh, opponents. Oh boy, they're playing the Great Henge, so joy. Okay, it's all right. Inferno Grass. Opponents. Come on. Why you got to be like that? Okay. Well, they're now going to eat up all of our cards. So, let the good times roll. Okay, opponent's going to swing. Yep, big swing here. We have to keep blocking Lord Skitter. They don't want to, but here's what it is. I mean, they can't sacrifice anything, so I guess that's fine for now. Let's see here. Felothar coming in. Alright. Well, we came here for a reason, so tapped. Turn that on. But we can't really swing, unfortunately, because we need to somehow, some way to survive. Mirkwood Bat. Okay. Alright, opponent is definitely gonna just drain us out here in this turn. Here, I'll Alright, fine, opponents. I'll be nice. I'll let you get your little shenanigans going. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, while our opponent takes away a win here, getting all of their triggers off, I mean, I don't know what else to say except, yeah, we just lost. Joy. Okay, either way now. We're going to just jump now to the actual upgraded version of this deck. But we actually get one sweet win off of that, so we'll be happy with that one today. Well, Super Mario Maker 2. Yes! Used to. I loved Super Mario Maker 2. But with the Switch 2 coming out, I wonder if we're going to get a Super Mario Maker 3. And at some point, I do want to do maybe some, again, I mentioned this again a million times, but at some point I would like to do maybe some member-exclusive, non-Magic streams. You know, where we can just play some random stuff. Maybe we can get a little bit more spicier in those areas. But again, that'll be for the members only. I will kind of develop for that and Patreon once I have time. I just feel like I never have enough time in the day. Even after doing only a 2-hour stream, it still feels like I still don't have enough time. But I try to do what I can. So, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's cover real quickly the actual upgraded one. So, this is going to be it. The real deal, everybody. So, with this version here, obviously the most notable thing we got to do is we got to upgrade our mana base quick. So definitely going to be doing a lot more of the powerful stuff here. So obviously we get in the real fetch lands. So Windswept Heath, of course. We will get in Verdant Catacombs, of course. And then Marsh Flats. And then of course we got to do all the upgrades to the actual dual lands. So we'll actually have much more stronger stuff. So we're actually going to use the Verge lands. We'll use the Shock lands, and we'll use the Surveil lands. So these are probably our best lands to use for this kind of deck. Helps us, again, filter, make sure we get fixed what we need to. We're obviously going to throw in things like, we'll actually keep in the Triome. We'll keep the Sandsea Citadel still, because it still provides us good fixing. And most of the other stuff you mostly would assume would be in this style of deck. Let's see. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we're missing that we probably should throw in? Oh, I mean, there are a couple things I probably did miss, so we'll do that real quick. We'll put in some more of the more powerful things that I think we could have. So with this, I think we want to get a Beseiju. Let me get in a Beseiju for us. So we'll probably just trim each one of these. A Beseiju, of course, for sure. And then for that, Takenuma. Actually, you know what? Maybe Fire Exing Tower might actually be better for sacking. And then in mono whites, usually the usual Gonjo. Apply those. All right, I think that should be okay now. And then as far as upgrading the actual deck itself, we won't really get too many super crazy things, but there are definitely going to be some handful of very powerful cards that definitely will bump up our game plan a lot more. So we're going to throw an Inspiring Commander. Yes, we're going that deep, everybody. We're going to do Arena cards. So at least these aren't Alchemy cards, so they actually feel fair. Inspiring Commander is perfect for this deck. Man, I really wish this was an actual real card. So don't hate on me. Don't call me a hypocrite, but it is technically an Arena exclusive card, but it's not Alchemy card. So I think that's fair. Another creature you control enters with power 2 or less. Gain 1 life, draw a card. Perfect for our deck with what we're trying to do. We're going to throw in, of course, Elesh Norn here because this actually will lock out our opponents very quickly here. Pumps up all of our creatures and gives all of our opponent's creatures -2/-2. This combined with Overwhelming Splendor literally can lock out an opponent out of the entire game. So that's why we're going to throw that in. We're also going to throw in another more powerful one, Elesh Norn here. This is mostly because it has high toughness. But this Elesh Norn, while it doesn't synergize perfectly with the plan, technically it does lock out our opponent's ETB triggers. So that's why we want that in the deck. Keeping, of course, Maha, just make sure that Elesh Norn here, of course, gets more synergies there. Otherwise, aside from that, we're also going to throw in Tree to Perdition here. A 4 mana that can be technically a 13/13. And also we could swap life totals if we want to, just to mess with our opponents. Otherwise, in terms of anything else we want to upgrade, Old Tech Matter Weaver here. So this helps us create some gnome tokens that can be good for us for chump blocking. We can also make tokens of copies that are target artifact we control. So this can help us, again, do some extra ramping with some of our other mana rocks here. And it's also a good toughness creature. Teferi's Protection. This is, again, just our emergency panic button if we need to stall out for a little bit here. Otherwise, aside from that, I should be mostly it for the 3 drops here. 2 drops, I'm trying to think, was there anything else we were going to upgrade that we really wanted to do? Oh, Fanatic of Ronos, much more stronger option here because we can then add in 4 mana if we have a creature with powerful or greater. So once Felothar goes off, this actually can give us a ton of extra ramp once that goes going. Let's see. Otherwise... oh yeah, Soren House of Markov here. Again, looks a little strange, but it actually is great for us. The lifelink ability, once it gets pumped up with Felothar, means this can have 4 power and then lifelink and then transform it into Ravenous Neonate, which is actually great for our deck to help us with stabilization purposes. Let's see. Otherwise, the other major upgrades here mostly should be about the same. There's not really anything else we need. And then finally, in the 1-drop slot, I'm trying to think of, was there anything here I missed that gave us a little bit more of an upgrade? I don't think we really need anything else. Oh, yeah, that's right. We actually did get Gilded Goose. So Gilded Goose, because we do make food tokens with Soren here, so that actually helps us out. And, of course, Gilded Goose, it's a 0/2, so it can be at least a decent attacker once Felothar gets its game plan going. Okay. But otherwise, that's our whole upgraded version of the deck, everybody. Let's see if this version actually is going to be better. I'm feeling pretty good about it, though. So we're going to go fully upgraded now to see. And don't worry, for those of you that are always interested, whether you're watching right now live or on the replay, do not worry. The links for these decks, of course, will be in the details once we're done with today's stream. So hang in there. They will be coming. Okay. Sneaky Toilet. Okay, catching up with the chat here. Post-cac basically means extremely bad, like how you would describe alchemy. It's pronounced fuse. Okay, feels free to delete that message. Way too dank. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll just kind of keep it for now, but you know how I feel. Okay, are the 3 colored lands worth it in Brawl? I would say yes, but it also depends on what your style of deck is. If we're going to be slower, like kind of like how we are, we can get away with like slower tap lands. But it also really depends on how you want to build it. If you want to do more aggressive combo stuff, you don't have to have tapped lands. You can go with basics. You just kind of have to build a lot more carefully around it. You saw earlier when we faced off against our opponent that was playing the Brawl deck, they're playing dual color, but they had a lot of basics. So they kind of found a way to kind of get around that. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so we can put in the drawbridge. Brave the Sands is actually not too shabby. We don't have black mana, but I think we should be able to then draw into it, hopefully. Hopefully. Then Splendid. So, a British, African, and Ukrainian viewers watch a funny fireball doing card things in American Texas. It's your worldwide up in here. Yeah. I don't know how y'all found me, but I still appreciate all of you. It is kind of cute that I get some international fiery friends here, even if our time zones are a little skewed, if you will. But somehow we make it work. I guess I would probably have to ask in the future, like, what would be the perfect time? Because I do know we also have a couple others of you in different time zones, and I would love to have all of you here all the time, but it is tricky sometimes with also my schedule. But right now, with what I'm currently doing outside of being a little fireball here, I think right now the 11:30 at the earliest what is it, starting around no later than 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's right now my best bubble. So between 11:30 in the morning to about, what is that, 4 in the afternoon Pacific time here in the United States, that's usually the best. Oh, opponents! What happened? Where'd you go? Aw. I guess I'll get a free win, but okay. All right. I guess our opponent didn't want to play today. No big deal. We'll try again. No big deal. All right, at least we got our dailies done today, so that's good. Sneaky Tilla, do you have 7... You have 7 TV installed. I recommend you do. I do not. Wait, what is that? Is that like some kind of platform to stream stuff on or watch something on? Can't split it. Look, I'm a decent person, but I change when I'm mad. Angry or, God forbid, furious. I literally turn into a different person. Oh, okay. So in other words, when Den Splendid gets angry, you don't want to see him when he's angry. He turns into the Incredible Hulk, everybody, where he kind of goes, rah! Yeah! Is it like that? I assume it's like that. You need a stress ball. I've tried stress balls. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But also it kind of depends on, what helps you relieve stress. Ironically, playing and making content actually helps me relieve my stress from the real world. So actually, I do appreciate these streams when we can do them because I do have a lot of fun. And they also help me relax and enjoy a game that I actually cannot get enough of. So I do enjoy at least that. And I also recommend that too. So here's how I do it. Okay, so we get the banner. Okay, so we can definitely start getting our ramp going. All right, let's play. Well, we're going to hurt ourselves a bit here, but that's okay. Market Gnome. At least we can start building up our defense into offense once Felothar hits the field. So it should be by, again, in 2 turns. Bushwhack. What is their opponent playing? Oh, they're playing Ureni. Ooh. Okay. Game on, opponents. I'm ready for you on that one. Gonjo. Abzan Banner. Yoke Docs. All right. Can't attack yet, but we are ready to go with the offense here. We just need our opponent to tap out. If they tap out... Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is, again, what you want our deck to do, everybody. We're going to get a huge swing here. This is what you want the deck to do. Full on offense. Boom, boom, boom. Down to 16. All right. Nice. Okay. Opponent, you need an answer right now if you want to stop this big game plan here. But even if they have a Wrath, they're going to need a lot of high power and damage to actually stop this game plan here. Oh, it's a Twitch extension. Okay. Good to know for the future. So you can see more emotes. Like, way too dank. Okay. I'll have to look into that. 7 TV, you said. All right. Making a note of that. All right. In the meantime, fighting in the old gods. Sorry, opponents. And there you go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough. They did not want to deal with our massive swing, of course, right there. The best offense is the defense we got today. All right. Not the flashiest one. We didn't get to really go off there, but you kind of saw that we were about to just smash our way to victory. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. Here we go. Get our cute little card there. All right, nice. And we'll just jump in and keep the good times going. Sneaky Toilet Dense Planet. I've broken my hand punching a wall more than once. Ouch. What? Wow. Were you that angry at something? I mean, you don't have to tell me the whole story if it's, like, too much for you, but wow. I don't think I've ever done that before. The closest I've done is maybe, like, I don't know, break a chair. And that's, like, the angriest I've been. I rarely ever get that angry. Usually, if you see me angry on, like, here on stream, that's usually my goofy angriness. Like, I'm not, like, mad. I do get annoyed, but I usually don't get that angry. It takes a lot, however, for me to be genuinely angry about something. Okay, try on down. All right, our opponent is playing Lysaea, so that means expect a lot of annoying bouncing stuff, but we'll make it work. We can still get around it. Chapel. All right, Gilded Goose. Honk honk! That's all goose honks, right? It's like that, right? Arcane Signets. Okay, opponent's also getting the ramp on. Okay, opponent. Okay, Arid Archway. So, let's see. We can... Let's get down there. Arid Archway. Bounce back our Triome. Play the banner. Tap down the goose. Alright, so this is good. Fixes us up for what we need. Concealing curtains. Excuse me. Okay. So, we more or less kind of have what we need. We just need to get to flipping. And Inspiring Commander, this is actually going to be really good for us to refuel if we can get it down. Okay, Warren Soul Trader. Ooh. I've liked this card a lot, and I've wanted to play this card, but I just could not find the right deck to do this. But at some point, I'm going to try to get Warren Soul Trader to work in some deck in the future. Mark my words, I will try to make it work. Okay, in the meantime, let's see. Sorin, coming in. Okay, so with that,
These banquets are so wasteful.
if we can just gain some light. Ow. Opponents. Boo. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. In the meantime, let's get to Plains. I mean, I guess that kind of helped us ramp a little bit, so I guess that's okay. So that means we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Inspiring Commander actually can come down now. That's nice. Oh, okay. Opponent's using Sorin with... Okay. Well, that's interesting. This does give me an idea for how we can build around Warren Soul Trader. I love this card, but it's really expensive. I want to get a copy of this for one of my sacrifice decks. Just can't quite get there yet. Okay. All right. Surveil 1. Okay. Armadillo. That's cool. Inspiring Commander. Still can't attack just yet, but that's okay. With Inspiring Commander out, we can definitely start drawing a ton of cards now. Sneaky Toilet. Dota 2 game was one time. Frustration at work was the second time. Okay. I mean, we've all been there. And then get 7 TV in so you can do it now. It'll take you like 10 seconds. Let's see. Opponents. Okay, opponents got all the removal in the world. That's just dandy, by the way. But okay, we'll keep blocking because we can. That's fine. Okay, so it looks like our opponent does not want us to do our thing just yet, but that's okay. We do have ways of getting around their stuff, so it's not the worst. All right, in the meantime. Okay. Do we pay the 1? Just pay the 1. Annoying. But that's okay. It does work. Felothar coming down. All right, and then Armored Armadillo. Okay. We take out Sorin right here because we need him down. Densman, by the way, PSA, don't buy pack. Hoard all the gold for Final Fantasy. Yes. I'll show you actually. I think you guys might have saw it at the beginning of the stream how much gold I have. I think I have almost up to 40,000 right now, so we're getting there. We'll block with the Armadillo. So Sword Trader opponent. Sorry, it's gotta go bye-bye. But our opponent can take down with Sorin if they want to bring it back. The Armadillo has a little bit of protection. Opponents. Okay. Okay, opponents. Play that game. That's fine. But it's okay. We can still rebuild. Back for seconds also. That helps us out actually too. So here's how we do this here. We can play... Tap for black. We will bargain. I don't want to do it this way, but we'll have to just rebuild quick. So Inspiring Commander. Hold on. The mana value of... Oh, actually, we can't get the Inspiring Commander, and we get the Goose. Sacrifice this one. All right. And then, let's see. Pay. Get the Goose back on the field. Makes a food again. Crystal Barricade. Okay. And then with that, we should be good to go here. So, we now have Hexproof, so that does prevent our opponent from actually pinging us. Isaiah, alright. Here she comes. Oh yeah, I've got about over 30,000 at the moment. I might have 40, maybe 50 before the set drops. I mean, at this rate, we still got about 2 weeks to go. So at this point, if everybody was saving up since spoiler season, in theory, your average player can get about, at least if you're playing at least just basic dailies, you should be able to get at least 30,000. Up to 50,000 if you play as much as I do, though. But it is doable. Okay, Indulging Patrician. So let's see. Let's get down Inspiring Commander again. And then we'll bring back Felothar in the next turn. Once we can get our game plan going. Lysaea is going to be a problem for us, but we'll try to get around it. Dense Planet. Dang, I only started. It's only 5 to 6 counts. I mean, you still got 2 weeks to go, Dense Planet. I mean, it's not going to probably be a ton, but you, in theory, if I count correctly, if you do the basic minimum, like the bare minimum on Arena, you should be able to get at least every week 10,000 gold. So 10,000 gold would mean you're getting, if you get 1,000 from dailies, like the basics, that's 1,000 a day, so that's 7,000. And then any also wins you can get from other stuff, you should in theory, well, not block, just in case they have any removal. So in theory, also from that, it should be, trying to do the math right now in my head here, give me a second here. Yeah, so 7,000 from just basic dailies. And if you do the daily challenges, 5 to 700, so yeah, that's about 10,000 gold a week. If you're getting like 500 minimum for daily challenges, and then the weekly amount. So that means, yeah. So you can still get up to, I mean, you could probably hit maybe like 25,000, maybe 30,000 if you really grind it out in the next 2 weeks. It is doable. It is definitely doable. You can definitely do it, my friend. I believe in you. You can totally do it. Okay, Command Tower will keep on top. Felothar. Okay, that does help us draw a card, so gain 1 life. Nice. Okay, everything is pumped up now, so that's good too. Let's see, I guess we'll just swing now. Okay, opponent, do you block with the Selfless Spirit? Do you block with Esper Sentinel? They do, okay. Indestructible? Figured, okay. Alright, that means they'll bounce it back later on. They take 2. Okay. So now they have an annoyingly infinite loop with Selfless Spirit, because all they can do is Lysaea bounces it back, and they protect everything. Oh. Alright, they got their own Elishnorn. That's annoying, by the way. Yikes. Well, this puts us in a bad spot. We'll try. I don't know if we can get around it, but we'll try. No blocks. Down to 3. Ugh. Not quite what I was expecting here, but okay. We will try. Indulging Patrician. It's now a -1/2. Okay. Alright. Decline. They get a card. Alright. I think this one's a wash too. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Kaya's Ghost Form. I don't even know what we're going to do here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, no attacks. Sacrifice food, though, to eat and gain some life. That does trigger off here, but that's not enough. Okay, well, they kind of hose us here. Because even if we pump up everything, Elishnorn is impossible to get around. At least without removal, and we don't have enough time. So I'll just take the L on that one. Dang. Okay, it's fine. We'll just keep moving on. See, Toilet, yo, Dan, even Mr. Inferno. Has there ever been somewhat of a meta Super Friends deck? It's my dream to have an almost only Planeswalker deck. I mean, I don't know if there was, but we had quite a few that were powerful and across the metas. During the era of every set had like 4 or 5 Planeswalkers, there were definitely times where Super Friends can be a thing. We've actually haven't had a chance to do a Super Friends deck for the longest time, at least in since I've been streaming. But it is somewhat doable. It really depends on how you build it. The strongest one, what Dense Planet was mentioning, was Chandra. You probably can build around Chandra the best. I think she is indeed the best of the actuals, because she has enough support where being in mono red with her works very well in her favor to actually build. I think the second one would probably be, I don't know, Liliana. I want to build a Liliana deck, but that's a lot of mythics, by the way. But it is doable to make a deck around her as well. It is definitely doable. So I would recommend that if you can. Use either of those two to build like a Super Friends deck if you want to make it simple. If you're looking instead for something that's a little bit more complex, you can definitely go multicolor, but it will be very expensive depending on how you build it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've also touched my version, so you can. It's not impossible, but it is definitely going to take a little bit of extra oomph to do. Okay, Volatile Vault. All right, so we can get down Felothar hopefully next turn. All right, and we'll see if we can try to do our thing here. Okay. Okay, the robot is swinging. Out of 16. They get into third gear. Okay, Witch Enchanter. Oh, okay. This actually is helpful too. So, Arid Archway. Bounce back the Volatile Vault. Witch Enchanter. We can use this to destroy the boots. So that's gone. Opponent now gets a little weaker. They swing. Block here. Down to 14. We got to stall for a little bit. They do up to fourth gear, though, so that means now they're going to get a little out of control here, but they're going to try. Okay, here come the robots. Faults with faults. Great. Vine Wall. Digging deep. Come on, deck. Okay, Windswept Teeth is not bad either. Oh, Beseiju actually could be helpful, too. So, let's see. I need that open. Oh, geez. We can't do anything, can we? It's on cast. Okay. Okay. Take it out. So it provides us a little bit of time to dig. Not much. Okay. Medicant coming down again. Riptide Gear Hulk. Ooh, okay. We haven't had a chance to actually play with any of the new Gear Hulks. I've been wanting to, but not quite sure where we can do it. But it looks like our opponent... Dang. They got us good. Down to 8. Okay, banner, but it's too late. We can try, but it is too late. Banner. Blight Isle. That was a quick one. Dang. That's a shame. It's okay, though. We'll keep trying. Sneaky Toilet. Imagine attacking with a lifelink creature that has negative damage because you lose HP. Yeah, it happens. And it's unfortunate, too, that it happens. But it is what it is. And it's fun. And don't forget about the new cards of Final Fantasy. Red cards and colorless seems very good. Like, there's a potential to make it better. I am hopeful that we're going to get some really awesome options and ideas that we can kind of build into. Some really spicy stuff from this set. The one thing actually I'm also really happy with this set is we got a lot of equipment support. And we actually haven't had a chance to do an equipment deck yet. At least not a good one. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we can put together maybe some kind of equipment deck. Maybe if not for a deck tech, definitely if we can do a live stream for it. We'll see if we can. Opponent, are you playing alchemy cards again? Boo. All right, well, we'll give it a shot at least. We will try. We will try. Let's see. Barrier Bones. Surveil. Okay, Tower Defense. We'll keep that for now. Gargros. This will be a little bit scary. All right, Hydra Spell. All right. Okay. They're going to start building up their Hydras, but we got to find a way to get around that quick. We will try. Berta Melisis. Let's start digging out our lands. We get a Plains. Okay. Opponents. If we have to, again, Teferi's Protection does provide us a little bit of extra support. Oh, but now they're starting to get their stuff like this. Okay. Birds of Paradise. Still nothing yet, but that's good. We make another wall. That's also good. Okay, in the meantime, we can Crystal Barricade. Alright, so we can at least get non-combat damage prevented on our walls. So they have to swing in order for them to do stuff to us. Defense of the Heart. Okay. Okay, here come the counters. Alright, opponents. Still no swings yet, but so that does buy us time. Alright, gain some life. That's good. Okay. Tap that. Arid Archway. Bounce back to Plains. We can play Oltec, Matter Weaver. Nothing yet from that, but that's okay. Still building the defense here. Oh, Cookie! You made it! I'm doing great. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Appreciate that. Yeah, our stream started a little bit later, so you were able to finally stop by for a bit. I do appreciate that, though. Let's see. Sneaky Toe. I'm fine with multicolor. I just want something close to 24 lands and 30 planeswalker. Well, I mean, maybe we could do that at some point. I'll see if we could try to think of, like, what would be the best way to build around a Super Friends deck. Music? I mean, the reason why I don't really do music here is also for one reason. Besides the copyright nonsense that Twitch does, the real reason also is because I edit down these live streams once I get a good highlight, and I put it into future. We'll take here. I usually will then re-edit these by building in music for the actual clips and highlights. So it's a little easier when we don't have music in the background, because then I can kind of make it a lot easier to adjust the audio. So in case if anyone was curious, like, was that ever going to be a thing? Okay, so make a token. Okay, we can make some more walls now. You can say we're building the wall. Was that appropriate? That was not appropriate. I don't know. I just said it. You know what? I don't care. We literally are a deck that's built around walls. Okay, so with that, swing. And yeah, we'll just swing with one. Get some damage in. All right, down to 21. Okay, Betor is going to be insanely good right here once we get him down. Okay, Gargos coming down. Okay, Ward in the Grove. They do disgusting alchemy stuff. I like the idea of a colorless deck, especially with Ugin. Oh, we've done definitely some very powerful colorless decks. Some of them didn't work, but then some of them are insanely good. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of good stuff coming soon from Final Fantasy. Dan Splendid, the new Bahamut Saga seems very fun. One time mono red can destroy something that isn't an artifact. That's actually is solid, though. It's going to be amazing. So I look forward to that soon. Gargos. Doing its thing. All right, well, we're going to be slowed down here a little bit. Dang. The combat on this, unfortunately, does mess with us a bit. Usually I can't come to watch the streams because I have to go to university or college, but I'm happy I made it. Well, I'm glad you did. But of course, you know, school's kind of a big deal too, so you got to do what you got to do. But I still appreciate you stopping by even for a hot minute. We still got a little bit of time to go, of course, in this stream, so that's that. Okay. Okay, Sneaky is African, and you're Ukrainian, and from Chile. Yeah, we got an international crowd here. It's actually kind of fun to know that. Okay, Vergeland. Okay, so let's see. So with Gargos, whenever you cast a creature spell that becomes the target of a spell. Okay. Is there a way around this? Or are we completely destroyed here? Okay. We can make token still of our wall. And we can put a counter on stuff if we have to. Draw a card. Okay. Okay. We still have a decent way of defending ourselves, but okay, our opponent is going to go off here. Yeah, they have the right mechanic for this. So unfortunately... Okay, so Gargos does that. And he does that. Down to 4. Okay. Yay. Okay. We're just going to cut this one because also... Damn, we can't win that one either. Opponent had a good game plan there because we could protect ourselves from non-combat damage, but they do combat damage with their Hydra, so dang. Was not expecting that one. It's okay. Jump into the next one just the same. All right. Yes, you are all now a group of international fiery friends. I actually am surprised. I actually do have, again, appreciate y'all being here, and I do appreciate you guys all seeing from me all in different parts of the world. I am very surprised, though, I somehow have managed to cultivate a nice little international group of y'all. So, that's nice. It's kind of cute to know that. Okay, let's see here. We will play our Temple Garden taps. We're ready, opponents.
It's time.
I'm feeling this one. Feeling it. Cold Steel Heart. All right, they're getting the ramp going. They got Ketramos. We played Ketramos a while ago, but still a pretty solid card, all things considered. Let's see. We want... Let's get down Fanatic of Ronos. Our opponent does have the actual removal, so be it. They use Field of Ruin. That's also fine, too. That actually helps us fix for what we need, if they do it. Ketramos coming down now. All right, opponent. Oh, there we go. We actually got our ramp going there. That's good. Okay. So, if Felothar survives, we can then ramp like an insane amount on this next turn. Spirit Sister's Call. Okay. I don't remember what this card does. Let me see. Beginning of end step. Choose target permanent in your graveyard. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see. Wait, hold on. Okay, do 20. Okay, and then now we will play... Let's see, how do we do this here? Actually, we should probably ramp first. Let us get out... Swamp in a Forest. Swamp down. And then we can play... Assault Formation. Okay, so we have now a backup plan in case the Felothar does not survive, but that's okay. We got Birth of Meltus coming out as well. Banishing Light. Opponent. That's okay. We have an option for that too. We'll decline for now, but probably our opponent will know that we have a way of getting around stuff. Path to Exile. Opponent. Boo! What are you doing? Come on, opponents. Okay, get out the forest. They draw another card. They go down to 18. They're halfway to what they need, though, but it's still going to be a little while before they do their thing. Okay, opponents. They eat their own card to keep doing their draw card shenanigans. Down to 4. Okay, Garruk's Uprising. That'll be helpful for later. So, let's see here. Which Enchanter first? We will get rid of Banishing Light. So now we get back our commander. Birth of Meltus. We will get out our last plane. Alright. Cookie, Infernoman, did you see the standard deck I posted the other day? I did, by the way. I just haven't had a chance to actually, like, give it a try myself, but it does look fun. I will see if I can try to get to all your decks, at least if some point. Maybe I might use your decks as a way to kind of have some fun with some exclusive Patreon stuff. Stuff that you guys all play with, that actually I would enjoy. Just playing on my own free time, when I have time. Okay, opponent is still trying to do their shenanigans here. Okay, they do sacrifice. Banishing Lights comes back. Okay, fine, opponents. Making me do this the hard way. Okay, Overwhelming Splendor. That might help out too. So with that, put that on our opponents. So our opponent now loses... they lose all their stuff there. So Ketramos now is completely locked out from doing its thing. It's a 2-2, but it can't do anything else. At least until they get rid of that curse. Sneaky Toilet. Like COD? I saw you jamming it the other morning. Oh, yes! I mean, when I have like a free moment once in a while, I try to play. I used to have a lot of fun with it. It actually used to be, like, at one point I almost even thought about doing actual stuff with the actual, like, the game for content. And then it was just, like, way too much for me to consider. But it is something that I do enjoy once in a while when I can. Alright, opponents. Okay, that's gotta go bye-bye. Sorry, opponents. No, no, no. No attacks yet, though. I'm gonna wait for a moment here. I want to see if we can build up a little bit more. Bloodstained Mire. As long as we can keep the overwhelming splendor on our opponent here, we should, in theory, have no problem just taking out our opponent here. Ooh, Shieldred. But Shieldred, no, opponents. You cannot do anything with these cards. Okay, so here's how we do this. Wall of Blossoms. Draw a card. Okay, Sorin will be nice too. Sorin. Alright. Feeling good.
Oh, another boring family gathering.
Big swing here. For 4. Block. Okay. Can if you want to, opponents. Sacrifice here. Draw 4. There we go. Much better. Okay. Start our opponent. They lose some life. Okay. So even if they bring stuff back, it doesn't matter because the curse still locks them out from doing anything. Man, that's the reason why we have the curse, everybody. No way, opponents. We get the victory there. All right. Feeling good about that one. Nice. Okay, so looking at the clock right now, I know we're getting close to the end here, but let's do one more game with our deck. Win or lose, this will be the final one for today, everybody, because I realize also I have to take care of some other stuff. But as always, I still appreciate all of you here. For those of you that are watching also on the replay in the future, if you haven't already done so, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe if you are a fan of any of the budget content that we do. We focus on making the hottest budget deck techs across all formats that are available on MTG Arena. Otherwise, if you want to help me out for as little as only $3 a month, or if you're just subscriptions here, would appreciate helping us support the channel going forward. $3 a month on Patreon, which you've seen, of course, go out throughout the chat, will also help you get access to all of my bonus footage that usually does not get published into actual videos or deck techs. So check that out with all the fun experimental stuff. And then also, for those of you who want to just jump into and help us out for free, and again, you don't want to spend any money, that's totally cool too. You can, of course, join our Discord of our growing circle of fiery friends. Your support helps to keep this channel going, and all links, of course, are located throughout the chat and the details of this video at the end of the stream. All right, Cookie B3. My first time playing Magic was when Zendikar Rising was released. Oh, okay. That was actually when I started making content for this channel. So, yeah. It feels like it was only like yesterday, but good lord. That set was now going to be 5 years old now? Yeesh. Yikes. So long ago. But it does feel like yesterday. Was it before or after Kaldheim? Yeah, Zendikar was the 2020 set, and Kaldheim was the winter set that came out after. So yeah, so it went Zendikar, and then Kaldheim was what came out, and then I think it was, what is that, Strixhaven? I like that set. That was actually one of the sets that I really had a lot of fun doing. All right, enough of me reminiscing for a second here. Let me get down this. Let's get our game plan going. Opponent is playing Urza, so ooh. This could be either extremely broken or extremely unplayable. There's no middle ground for Urza here. Usually you are going to play something broken. Okay. Fanatic of Ronos. Trying to get our ramp going. Yeah, I'm a mega free-to-play enjoyer. I also only play in Arena too, but I'm also fortunate to get time to play in the evenings. Same. Yep. I mean, I definitely have enough, of course, where I can do all these decks for all y'all, but there's a reason why, of course, I do enjoy the content. So, obviously, making budget content is helpful for players out there that like to grind it out and play for free, because, let's be real, this is not the most fair way to play the game. Opponent. Okay. It's fine. Tapped. Dronos coming down a second time. But yeah, most of what all of you enjoy when it comes to the free-to-play stuff is the reason I'm inspired to actually do this channel and all the streams in the first place. I love playing on a budget because, again, you can play the game and you don't have to spend a lot to actually enjoy the game. Okay, opponent is still being a little annoying here. So let's play Voltec Matter Weaver. Okay, so we can get a creature down and then we can sacrifice it with Final Vengeance. But our opponent right now is being very annoying. Cookie. Oh, come on, opponents. Ugh. So he's going to be like that, huh? Okay, fine. Just trying to be agonizing here. Okay, Warhound. Okay. Voltec again. Please do not bounce it again, opponent. I'm going to scream. Let's see. Frog deck from my very first deck in the game. Not sure if you know. It's from Bloomborough. Okay. Opponent wants me to just reshuffle everything. Very annoying, but that's okay. It's fine. We can still make it work. We can play... Let's see here. Play the plains. And then let's see... Wall of Blossoms. We'll make a gnome token. Okay. We can play Walking Bulwark. Make another gnome token. No attacks yet. Okay, opponents. So from here, if we just get rid of Baron, I think we should be okay. Whitestone and Weakstone. Okay, opponents. Killing off the old tech. Annoying, but that's fine. We can deal with that. Okay, another plains. Our opponent's probably going to want to try to flip Urza quick here, but... See, Narset. Okay. We don't have an answer, though, for that Mightstone and Weakstone just yet. Our opponent right now is going to get really, really gnarly here. Okay. Sorin. Okay. Let's see. Can we get out of this? Is there a way out? Okay, Sorin. House Markov. And then we can...
Famine nips at our heels.
Garrick's Uprising. Okay. No attacks yet. Okay. Let's try to see if we can find a way to get out of this. Our opponent's going to be very annoying here to the point where I'm just going to scream, but we're still going to make it work. Alright. Oh, opponent's got Teferi's Protection in hand. Also annoying, but that's okay. We're not really right now on the offensive plan. We just need to get around their Teferi's and this mono blue control package they are throwing at us. Alright. They've never been higher than Diamond 3. I mean, if you play meta enough, theoretically, even me as the worst player I sometimes feel like I am, I can get to Mythic. The only thing is not so much skill sometimes. It does feel like sometimes luck. And I would definitely say if you take the time to just grind, like literally grind for like hours, it is doable. If I can get to Mythic, any one of you can get to Mythic. It just takes a lot of doing to do so. Okay. Mortuary Surveil. Okay, so that actually will help us out. Okay, Market Gnome. Okay, turn on the Wall of Blossoms. We can swing and hit Teferi. Okay, opponent. Do you have a block? They don't. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're still in this. For how long, I don't know. We're going to try to see if we can wrap this one up quick. But we'll see. Okay. All right, opponents. What else you got? Island, okay. Okay. That's that. I'm also one who sticks to Eternal Fallouts. I don't like Standard. Standard, again, right now is okay. It's not the worst. Oh. Ugh. All right, this is going to look really bad right here. Ugh. Opponent is most likely going to try to flip that Mightstone and Weakstone. If they do that, then they get Urza, and we might be dead. Not yet. Our opponent is prepping. Opponents? Anything else? Okay. Mishra's Bauble. Alright. Cookie, did you guys see the screenshot of the new Final Fantasy set? $700? Ugh, that's what it's going for right now? Ugh. Honestly, I pre-ordered the day they were available. So it is a very expensive set. But I managed to snag at least one. I got the gift bundle. So it was the one that has, what is it? The nine play boosters, and then you get one. Oh, I forgot. My opponent has Narset. Well, I completely punted that one. That was a mistake on my end there. Oops. So, my bad. Not what I wanted to do, though. But it was something I could do. Opponents? Okay. Whoop. Yeah, it's going for a stupid amount. Like, a literal stupid amount. Hold on one second, everybody. We got... There we go. No. Say no to actual... And I do mean it. Like, say no to the actual... Say Wall Blossoms. Hold on. How do I want to do this here? Let's see. Put this on here. Sacrifice a creature. Okay. The other one. Opponent, do you have an answer? If I can get this, I can get rid of the Narset and then maybe flip Sorin. Of course I don't flip it. I tried. Okay, it fizzles. Can't do anything. Alright. But yeah, say no to the bots and spammers. Alright. Otherwise, I would love to get more of the Final Fantasy cards, but they're going to be too expensive right now. Do not pay the scalper prices, everybody. Try your best if you do want to get some of these cards, not to play any of the scalper stuff. Alright, here we go. They got now their card to go off here. Urza is now going to start just destroying us.
I am the master of this domain.
They exile stuff. Great.
I
don't know if we can get around it, but we will try. We will try. Stinky Toilet, yo, Inferno, make me a mod so I can remove... Oh. Well, I mean, I already took care of it, but yes. I will have to try to start... I'll adjust it because I know some of y'all are frequent enough here where I can have you guys handle some of the stuff for me when I'm trying to do the streams, such as annoying spam bots. Okay. Into the north. Doesn't really help us, but... Okay, Felothar. They get to draw a card. Jeez, come on, opponents. Alright. I'm just going to take the L on this one. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull off something against that much power against us, so dang. Okay. That's okay. Alright, let's try... I think, you know what? Let me see. I think we can probably squeeze in one more. One more. For reals. This is the for reals final one, everybody. We have maybe a little bit of extra time to squeeze in, so we'll try one more game, and then we'll end the stream there. And after that, we'll then do our normal. We'll usually do our quick little wrap-up like we always do, and then kind of wrap it up from there. All right. I think we can do this. Yeah, we can definitely do this. Got a little bit of extra time. All right, let's see. I no longer have that thing of being a paid sub. It's fine. I still support you anyway. I still appreciate y'all. Even if you don't, like, spend money or anything right here. I don't expect any of you do. As long as you, of course, all want to hang out and still chat and enjoy the streams with me. That's all I ask for. That's all. We will still, of course, try to do my best to try to see if I can make more on places like YouTube and whatnot. As best as I can. It's not always a guarantee. I'm not the biggest person out there when it comes to that stuff, but I try. Cookie, Infernoman, you have to try the colorless Ugin deck. It's so much fun. I mean, definitely I could say if it's Ugin involved with colorless, oh, that means it's going to be something that's extremely powerful. With the new Bahamut Saga, yes, there's going to be a lot of stuff we got to work on that we have a ton to talk about when it comes to the next set. Like, we seriously have a lot to go for. All right. Builder's Talent. We're making our little creatures here, but unfortunately we're going to have to do this just to get rid of Campbell. So, lose our wall. Camel goes bye-bye. Sorry, opponents. You're not getting that. Opponent, of course, is playing a disgusting alchemy card. No surprise, of course. Still try to find a way to get around it. All right, opponents. Okay, Veko. So what disgusting alchemy thing does this do? So it does extort. You sacrifice a non-spirit creature, return a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. It perpetually becomes a spirit and has a base power and toughness of 1/1. And it gains a disgusting ability too. Okay, opponent is also going to try their hardest here to go off. Verdant Catacombs. Bracket. We will get out... It's going to hurt us a bit here, but we have to do it. Ugh, down to 22. Bedrock Tortoise. So, with this now... Well, Elish Thorn will be nice to have once it hits the field. We still got to wait a little bit longer here. Almost there, though. We will try. If our opponent can just dump their hand, that actually might help us out, too. All right. Alvison. Okay, so let's see what our opponent's trying to do there. Okay. So, it has Indestructible, but we do have some exile effects in the deck, if we can get to them, and also some sacrifice shenanigans. I don't know if we can. We can try. Let's see. And we can't even swing because... Oh, jeez. So, it's, even if it, though it's... Yeah. They'll just block us for days there. Still, we can draw some cards. Oh, okay. Well, that actually is helpful for us. Garruk's Uprising means we're not out of this fight just yet. We just got to hang in there. Our opponent has a really dirty game plan here, but it's not the worst. I have found ways to get around Avacyn. It is doable. Bitter Triumph. Aw, opponents. Okay. Lysaea at some point might come back. Adeline. It's literally all my worst cards right now that I hate. Literally all the worst stuff I can deal with here. Okay. Oh, Cookie telling me to hydrate here? I will. So give me a second here on that. Since I block here. 16. Okay. Much better. So let's see here. Garruk's Uprising. Phyrexian Tower. We can play... How do I do this here? Walking Bulwark. Let's see. Well, realistically, we only need, like, one card. Okay, so... Urborg. Bring back Betor. Gain some life. We can swing. Well, we have Trample, so that does help us get around some stuff. Oh, actually... Oh, never mind. I completely forgot that they had two cards to play. So, never mind. I completely messed up there. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We can still find a way. We just need to get Betor down, or at least Elish Norn. If we actually... Oh, man. If we actually had the other Elish Norn, actually, this would be fine. Then we'd be completely locking out our opponent here. It's okay. It's okay. It's not impossible. It is not impossible. Opponent's playing Lysaea. Tasty fuel for a fireball. Yes. I do like, of course, a nice little warm drink once in a while. Opponent. Hey, swinging. And more swinging. See, again, like, just not fond of these alchemy cards and what they're trying to do here. It's just sneaky little things here that are just not enjoyable for anybody. Okay, Betor. Once again. But we do get to draw a card, so that's at least nice. Okay, Fluorohedron. We can get that down. Actually, no, we can't, because then we'd have to sacrifice them. Pass the turn. Draw another card. Boreal Grazer. Okay. Okay. If we could just get around... Oh. Alright. Opponent finding everything they can do to stop this. If we can just get to our other Elish Norn, or any of our minus abilities, we have a shot. But at this point, it might be game over. Okay, so they bring back Campbell again. See, again, I'm sorry. Just what made them think that these were good ideas to put into the game? Just all the stuff, and they perpetuate because that means that they just stick like that forever. Okay. All right. Once again, alchemy gets the better of us, which I absolutely hate because it makes me feel very sad. Okay, opponents. I mean, we're not dead. We're literally down to 1 life, but we get everything exiled. Sheoldred's Edict. That doesn't help us out that much here. Yeah, there's like nothing we can do now. I can play a Sheoldred's Edict. Draws us 2 cards, but it's too little too late. Like, I can still put down Arcane Signets. I can still force them to sacrifice a non-token creature, but it doesn't do enough. Man, we really wanted that Wrath. That Wrath alone would have just shut down our whole opponent's game plan. Yep. Trying, but it's the dream's dead. They can sacrifice whatever they want at this point, but it won't matter. They're just too far ahead. Just literally this annoying ability alone. Like, look at that. Like, how's that a thing? All right. Well, looks like we will go out on a loss. Joy. But that's okay. We managed to at least get one hilariously fun win earlier today, so I will take that. Even if we lost all this, which is annoying, it's not the worst because we did manage to get at least one good one out of today's stream. So with that, let's talk about briefly our Tough Enough deck, everybody. So that was it for you, everybody. Abzan Tough. We're trying to see how well we can do, and you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Because truth be told, I did like the deck overall. We managed to get one hilarious, fun interaction that I look forward to. Of course, I will post that up for sure later on. If not today, like eventually, that clip will go up at some point. I'll see if I even put up the clip even on like Twitch and stuff. So this literally pointed out the whole reason why I wanted to throw in there one of my favorite cards here, Hornet Nest. A lot of opponents do not estimate well how this card works. And the fact that our opponent, they swung in with a creature with 260 power and gave us they gave us 260 insects, and on top of that we still had, of course, out Daxo, so that was also 260 HP back to our life. So we gained a ton of life, made a ton of tokens that were also all flying. We could have easily just killed our opponent there once they realized their mistake, but that was still the best highlight of the day, everybody. I'll eventually put that one out at some point. Do not worry, it's coming. Aside from that, the deck actually does have quite a bit of legs to it if it just manages to get our game plan going off. I think I do enjoy the budget version, but there are some things I probably would tweak. Some stuff that just helps us support our game plan a little bit more if we were going to use cards like Maha and Overwhelming Splendor. I'm happy that these cards did manage to lock out our opponents in some games, but we also still need some ways of just pushing through and kind of ramping maybe a little bit faster, just that way Felothar can get out quicker, have more consistency with drawing cards if we need to. I would probably play around with this a little bit more, but I'm still happy with it, at least at base level. If you really want to take the decks to the next level, I'd definitely say the upgrades did help out a lot, but there will be some tweaks I would make here and there just to kind of give us maybe some better spot removal, maybe a Wrath or two that would help us just ensure that our game plan for sure can go off against mostly any opponent. Maybe we threw in a Farewell. I don't know if we threw in a Wrath of God, something else that would just help us out. But it's all good. I still enjoyed the deck for what it is. The highlighted cards that, again, our champions for today that really helped us out. Betor did really work really well. He actually works a lot better than I thought he did, so helps us draw some cards. Cards that also really helped us out there. We also had another cool win with Catapult Falter here. I was really happy we were able to literally just fling some stuff and do some damage to make our opponent lose, so that was a really sweet little flip around. Very easy to flip, by the way. Of course, other cards that really helped us out today. As I mentioned earlier, again, I can't say it enough there. The Hornet Nest that we had earlier, that was the best. I actually did like that. That was my favorite win for the day. But overall, yeah, I still like the deck for what it is. Maybe, again, a couple of minor tweaks here and there just to give us a little bit more consistency, but I'm really satisfied with overall how it felt. And I definitely would recommend this deck if you do like to play a toughness deck and maybe something a little bit different along the way. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, I thought you were talking about G Fuel name for Infernoman Alien Dance. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Let's see. Ooh, I thought we were talking about the strongest type of fuel. Infernoman. I mean, the deck definitely has gas, if you will. It definitely has a lot of good fuel, if you will. If that's what you were trying to imply I was trying to say. But I think you get what I was trying to say there. Okay. I didn't catch that. Been reading about nuclear power, so that's why I knew about metallic hydrogen. Okay. Science. All that stuff. Good to know. Okay. So real quick, before we end the stream, as always, just kind of give you a little bit of heads up as to what's coming. So our next ultra budget deck tech that's coming out on Monday morning, basically Sir Conrad is going to be the mono black one. We actually played this deck a long time ago as an already budget deck. So I know I'm kind of retreading the same ground, but realistically that build was made 4 years ago. So a lot has changed since then, and we're going to do some tweaks to make this a little bit different from the original one. So I'm happy about this one. This one we'll be wrapping up editing on this one over the weekend while we can. So that one's coming soon. Check that out soon on Monday morning. If you're on Patreon people will get it a little bit earlier than all the others on YouTube. So FYI, a little incentive if you're interested in seeing what it looks like before the other general public. As far as our future streams, so Saturday, this like literally in 2 days, we're going to be doing streams pretty quick here. We have our next deck and our final one of the 3 colors, Ureni Landfall. I'm still tweaking this a little bit more, but I really like what Ureni does. It's kind of basically like a Wrath built into it. So we're going to do mostly, again, a landfall deck. We're going to be a little bit different than our usual landfall shenanigans. We're going to focus a lot more on trying to get creatures out to then get bigger and bigger with our land hit drops. So that's going to be something that I look forward to finishing up and wrapping up soon. We'll just need to do a little bit more testing. Beyond that, next week will technically be the last week we're going to cover anything from Tarkir Dragonstorm, at least for the time being, mostly because we're going to be getting ready to start building in theory for Final Fantasy cards. I'm really looking excited forward to that ASAP. Until then, however, we're going to try to do one more dragon deck. So 5 color dragons. We'll see if this build can work. I'm still trying to tweak it a little bit more, but this one will be for the stream next week. So looking forward to that. And then on that means that for sure the next stream, so that'll be June 6th or 7th. And I've already converted with everybody here. If y'all want to take me on, I will announce that, of course, on the Discord. We'll announce it across socials. So if you want to bring it on, bring it that weekend. So that'll be on one. We'll kind of help send off Tarkir Dragonstorm, sunset that, and we'll get ready hopefully by the next Wednesday on that stream. That's like what, June 10th, I think. That's when Final Fantasy drops on Arena. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what we can build across various formats for that. But that's pretty much it for now, everybody. Anything beyond that, we'll already be working also on our mono red basically deck. So that's coming soon, but we still need a lot more time to kind of build on that. So that's coming soon. And of course, a mono green one will also be falling into place eventually. But that's all down the pipeline coming up in the next several weeks, everybody. So thanks again for hanging in there for that. They'll all be coming soon. Otherwise, before we go, as always, want to try to give everybody that was involved in the chat today a little bit of a shout out. So again, thanks again for showing up. As always, my fiery friends, my all-stars, of course, Sneaky Toilet, Dense Linnet, Cookie. Thanks again, everybody, for showing up today. I do appreciate all y'all. Those of you that have been watching across other formats on YouTube, over on Instagram and everything else like that, thanks again for joining me there. I really appreciate you guys. Even if you don't say anything in the chats, that's perfectly fine. I still appreciate you just tuning in for me just the same. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the stream, everybody. I knew today we usually don't do a Thursday stream, but it had to work out this way because of awkward shenanigans regarding scheduling. But we will for sure have our next stream on Saturday, more or less the same time. So until then, enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. Enjoy the upcoming weekend, and we will see you again very soon. But until next time, just as a friendly reminder for everybody, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We will see you again on Saturday, everybody. Later.